let's go. Okay, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to our channel. We have our guest here, PaulJamesLee.com. He's a cryptocurrency investment manager. Yeah, James Lee. How can I call you? I mean, Paul James or Lee or what?
Just Paul. Paul is good.
Yeah.
Paul is good.
Well,
Paul
where are you
James
from?
Lee
I mean, are you originated from Ireland, or you just new to the?
Yeah, I'm originally Irish. Yeah, I'm living in my hometown, which is Cork City, which is in the south of Ireland. So it's like we were just talking about Ireland and its relation with the UK. Ireland was part of the United Kingdom until 100 years ago. When it split into two, there's a smaller part up the north is part of the UK, and then the rest of Ireland is a republic. So the main part is a republic.
Yeah, I know the story. I mean, yeah, before I gotta start with the video, can you share a little bit more about yourself, about your company, about how you get in crypto for the first time?
Yeah, okay. I'll try and keep it as short as possible. So I was practicing architect. Well, I still do architecture, but I was running an office in Cork City when the financial crash happened, and I had to close my office. And I started to become really interested in economics and monetary policy. So that was 2008. Then kind of later on, I met some geeks who, computer nerds who told me about Bitcoin. That was 2011, when Bitcoin was worth about, I think it was around $15 or something, or maybe it was €15. But I wanted to buy, but the thing was that I had no money at the time, so I couldn't buy in, and it was very difficult as well. But Mount Gox and all that stuff. But then in 2013, I wanted to talk to some investors about Bitcoin, and I invested a little bit myself because I needed to have some skin in the game, and it was just going up to $1,000, I think, in 2013, because of the Cyprus banking situation, where they were basically just taking money from people's accounts. So there was a spike in the price. I bought in, and then it started going down, but I stayed into Bitcoin. Then I got a tip off about in 2016. I got a tip off about Ethereum, and I basically loaded up on Ethereum. I took my Bitcoin stash and bought Ethereum, and then that rocketed up, and there was a lot of different kind of investments, crypto investments after that. Then in 2020, things were going pretty well, and in 2020 I had a little bit of an incident with trusting a technical guy in a company that was a legitimate company, but I thought he was helping me with some technical stuff, and I lost a good chunk of my investments. But I'm still invested, heavily invested, and my time is heavily invested, and the future is very bright for cryptocurrency. So what I'm doing now is I wrote a book called The Human Side of Bitcoin and Cryptocurrencies. It's on Amazon. So like it talks about the characters who invented Bitcoin, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And it talks about the central banks and what they're doing. And it also tells you the mechanics of crypto, and how it works and why it works. And yeah, so it's kind of, there's different parts to the book, and I'm actually going to create 2 books out of it, because it's 2 different things. I think 2 different kind of markets. But from that, then I have started my website, pauljameslee.com, and I'm still building the website, still putting it together, but I'm running a course for people who want to get into crypto and haven't, just kind of like either don't know how to start, or they're wondering, should they get in? And so what I'm doing is I'm helping people to get over the barriers of doubt and not knowing the technicalities of it, and also, very importantly, not just how to buy crypto, but how to keep it and manage it properly. So I've helped a lot of people already, and they've done very well, so I'm selling services that I've run already very successfully for a lot of people. Yeah, I've done a number of presentations, like in universities locally here, and I have I think I can say I presented the first ever public presentation of cryptocurrencies in Ireland, which was in 2017, and people who took the advice that was on offer then will have made very good gains. So yeah, that's where I'm at now with things. This course that I'm running is called Don't Lose Your Pants.
Yes.
So it's a kind of a funny way of saying, like gaining wealth and managing wealth. And that's what I'm about. And it's not about crazy schemes. It's not about overhyping. It's about sensible investment and how to think about investment, and just some very simple things that have done very well for me and the people that I've helped. So that's what I'm offering. That's my long rant about what I'm doing.
Yes, exactly.
So,
I mean, yeah, we first met on our own tech, right? I mean, with Doors. Yeah, how do you, meet in person with Doors? I mean, Doors is your colleagues or what? Because
yeah,
Doors is from Switzerland, right?
yeah. So we had some good interactions on the Ivan on Tech platform. Yeah, like the messaging was good. It was there was a lot of good friendly chat, and there was some let's say kind of controversial kind of chat as well. But it's always good to have different views on things. some people don't like different views, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not.
I like to talk to people who you know, have the opposite view to what I have. As long as people can just talk and not get upset and not pretend that, you know, that for anyone to pretend that they know everything. Nobody knows everything. I certainly don't. But I like to be able to talk to people who think differently to me and have different views. It always improves your thinking when you're talking to someone with a different viewpoint to you, because they'll clarify and they'll question and they'll look for things you haven't thought about, even if they're, you know, wrong. Maybe they are, but maybe they're not. But they'll always add value to what you know your thinking is. So yeah. And
Yeah, this
sorry,
is
I'm going off on some tangent, but yeah, it was good. It was, you know, Ivan I did some of Ivan's courses, and yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. I learned Ethereum programming and you know, interaction with you know, web interfaces, and you know, kind of getting into Web3 kind of stuff. So it was good. It's good to have the, you know, the technical background, because I always feel a bit I always feel vulnerable if I don't have the technicalities well understood. You know, I could be talking about crypto, but there'll always be I'd always be kind of just not fully satisfied if I didn't know the technology that I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the part of your job, right? I mean, to
Yeah.
is your website is gonna like Ivan Tech? I mean, to teach people about the programming, about what money is all about, or what? I mean,
No, it's yeah. It's more no, it's like it's not teaching programming. It's helping people who are on the outside of crypto to get in to crypto. You know, I'll have a lot of resources there. I mean, it'll be interesting for people who are already into crypto as well, but that's not my main focus. My main focus is just helping people who don't understand crypto to understand it. And that's, you know, there's a big need for it. There's a lot of help there for, you know, going, okay, you can buy crypto, you can keep it on an exchange, but like what do you do with it? What's a good way to think about it so that you don't make the wrong decisions? You know, just to be fully informed of what you want to be doing with your crypto, and what, you know, so, you know, taking profits, like how do you take profits? How do you get money into your bank account from crypto? That's part of it as well. You know, just thinking about the simple things, but also one thing that I have found currency is like you buy cryptos, then you put them somewhere, and you get where you put them. Like when I say like literally where you put your password, where you put your private keys, where are they? Like physically, you know? Where are your pieces of paper that you're hiding? You know, when you look for 6 months time. So that's a big loss. I think it's actually the biggest security risk for people is actually loss, not theft. Theft is number two. Obviously you need to guard against theft. So yeah, that's you know, and security, you know, things like having a password manager and things like, you know, having a VPN set up and things like that. So
Yeah,
it's just basics, you know.
Yeah, it's just basic and onboarding new people to the crypto, right? So yeah, I mean,
exactly, yeah. And so like while I'm talking to people who know about crypto already, so I'm not like, let's say you wouldn't be a candidate for, and probably a lot of your listeners wouldn't be candidates for what I'm offering. If people know others who are thinking about it and they're asking questions like, what is this crypto, you know, what is it about, what's Bitcoin about, how would I buy some, or should I invest? I'm not going to, and I don't tell people to invest. I don't tell anyone you should invest. All I'm doing is telling you why you might invest and how to manage your investment when you do that. And you know, that's what I'm about. So people might know people, like people here might know people who are asking those questions, and they're the people I want to talk to. So to come to the website and just you know, send me an email. Contact forms there. Just send me an email, and I help people in the very best way that I can. And it's, you know, it's worked already very well for people. So, it's a good product.
Yeah, that's your.
It's actually. It's sorry. It's a 4-week course. So like it's 2 1.5-hour Zoom sessions per week for weeks, and there's also downloads and extra videos and there's extra kind of value in as well, on top of the primary offering.
Yeah, exactly. That's your company is all about. I mean, is that your company is like Cathy Wood company to manage people's money, like ETF or something? I mean, is that the way the way that your company is operating right now?
No. It's actually about self-managed cryptocurrencies. So I'm helping people, like, actually the idea behind the course is that you set up your own bank. So instead of just having a bank account, you are also the manager of the bank. So you have the keys to your own bank. So you're like your own country, you know. you can run your own monetary policy for yourself, and no one else is involved. So it's a fabulous opportunity for people to get in. So actually, the course is the course is starting on Thursday, tomorrow week, so it's the 24th of February, and yeah, so I'm places are filling up, and so I have I have some people lined up to get into crypto, and yeah, we're going to after at the end of the course, after 2 months, we have a review. So we meet up 2 months later and take a look at how we've done. And that's all part of the course. And so 2 months, 4 months, and 6 months. And yeah, so I have newsletters, and also I have some videos. My YouTube channel, I'm on alternative platforms as well, but like Odyssey and BitChute and others. But I have videos that are like humorous videos. So my next video that I'm releasing, it's already there, is an interview. Well, it's basically a phone call from Elon Musk. So Elon Musk calls me for advice, and I give him advice, and on like the stuff that he's doing in relation to crypto. And yeah, so it's like, it's funny, it's humorous, it's you know, it's kind of like a meme, you know, because like Elon Musk he's funny the way he deals with like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu and all those kind of things. So he's a character. He's funny. As
Yeah,
well as
I
being
mean,
very serious.
yeah. Sorry.
He's a character. Like, he's an interesting character.
Yeah, I
You
know
know.
it's Elon Musk, right? I mean, I saw
Yeah.
on your website right now, I mean, about your books, Five Golden Rules for Investor. I mean, can you share what the book is all about? I mean, what's the summary? What's the, yeah, what's
Yeah,
the,
the Five Golden Rules. Yeah, it's a free ebook. Like, it's
yeah,
you
what
know.
was the about? I mean, what is all about? I mean, it's about how to invest or how to manage risk or what?
Yeah, it's like a few rules that you need to few principles. So it's like maybe if you've ever heard of, you know, Sun Tzu, Art of War. You know, he kind of gives these guidelines to like leaders, generals, about how to strategize. So, you know, I mean, it's not this book isn't as brilliant as Sun Tzu, but it's basically like just a set of strategies. So it's 5 simple, very simple principles that you need to keep in mind if you're going to invest. Well, to invest in anything really, but you know, it just so happens we're talking about crypto. I mean, it could be anything. You could be talking about real estate or stocks or anything really. But yeah, I mean, this is a particular mindset for crypto, specifically as an investor. I don't talk about the stock market because I don't know about the stock market. I only really know about investing in crypto. You know, and you know, I follow traders, and I listen to people who talk about the markets in general, because I want to get an overview of investments. So, you know, I would listen to Gregory Mannarino, for example, because one thing about listening to investors is that, you know, as long as they're not the Wall Street snakes, if they're kind of outsiders, then they're very valuable to listen to, because they're paid to be right. Like, if they're not right, they, their livelihood depends on them being right. So they're some of the people you need to listen to. Investors. You can listen to other people, but you can listen to commentators, but are they going to lose money if they're wrong? So they're not as valuable to listen to. Investors are valuable to listen to, generally speaking, all the time. So that's one thing that you want to do. One of the principles in the 5, I'll give you the principles, and that is to find people you can trust. And that takes time, but you've got to do that first. There's no point in jumping into a market having listened to some YouTuber for 5 minutes. I'm sure nobody watching this is as silly as doing that, but like, you need to follow people for a long enough time that you can establish that you can trust them, and then once you know that, then you can start to take their advice seriously. And that's one of the principles. It's obvious when you hear it, but a lot of things obvious need to be said, because you need to keep these things in mind. Just keep them at the top of your mind when you're making decisions. So just have a few principles, and you do well having a few principles that you follow. That's what it's about, really. If that answers your question.
Yeah, I will share the link in the description, so you guys will check it out. Before I finish the podcast right now, do you have any Bitcoin price prediction for next year or 2 years? Because you manage your investment, right? I don't know. You have any Bitcoin?
Yeah, well, I suppose like what I'm thinking is there are no number of driving pushing up the price. Like instability, I think in the long run will drive up the price. The global instability, money printing. Where do you put all that money you're printing? One place is cryptocurrency. The Wall Street is getting into ETFs, exchange traded funds. So they've been given the green light by the US regulators to get into crypto. That's just basically putting money into the crypto markets. It's just going to, I see Bitcoin as soaking up hyperinflation. Like we've seen hyperinflation in the property sector. That money is kind of kept underground in a way, but you see it in the property sector. But that money is coming into crypto now, and Wall Street is going to be very, very strong in bringing a lot of money in there. That's such a huge factor. But again, money printing is just going to be really, really important for the growth in crypto. And we're going to need money when the banks aren't functioning properly. You know, banks are starting to break down, and we need a monetary system to keep, you know, to be able to buy and sell, and crypto is one of the important parts of that. So that's just going to continue to grow. It's inevitable, and so yeah, so it's just good. You know, the market goes up and down. If you're watching it day to day and you're worried about day-to-day prices, it'll drive you crazy. The way to think about crypto is like, think about it every 6 months. You know, where was it 6 months ago compared to now? Don't worry about tomorrow's price. Think about the price in 6 months. And that's, you know, that's the thing to track. The price goes up and down. It's like a roller coaster. And for especially for people watching, you know, people who are thinking about investing, they're looking at the price, you know, oh, look, it's up, I must get in. Like, well, yeah, no, I mean, don't jump in crazy. Just buy some, yeah, sure, but like buy the dips when it goes down. Buy some, buy a little all the time, and see where it goes in 6 months' time. That's you know, good rule of thumb. That's it. So
100K or 200K or what?
What's that?
Bitcoin to 100K or 200K or?
Oh, yeah, it's going to blast through 100K. I mean, one of my big gurus is Tika Tiwari of Palm Beach newsletter, and like, he mentioned $500,000, you know, but not next year, but you know, in the coming few years. Personally, I don't think there's any, you know, any price that you can at the top. I would say 100K is just going to be, you know, it's just like we're just going to pass 100K, and you know, we'll probably go past it and then come back down to it, and then we'll go further again, you know. It's like that. But yeah, 100K, no problem. I'm thinking more about 200K in, you know, in the next year or two. But you know, you just cannot predict the timing. That's the thing.
Yes,
you can always say it's going to go so high, and yeah, you're going to be right, but when that happens is just, you're never going to call that. Like, I don't read charts. I did some day trading just to kind of see how it goes, and day trading is, you know, with you know, the trading platforms, it's too easy to manipulate. It's way too easy to manipulate. And when you see a price going in a, you know, in a direction, and then you see this candle wick, half-hour candle wick, just spike down or up, that's manipulation. That's not a natural market flow. That's some people with a lot of money getting together to make more money, and they can spike the market and make lots of money out of a lot of leveraged trades. So they take out all these leveraged trades and make a nice killing out of it. It's so easy. It's so easy to do. I don't touch it. I don't touch day trading. And reading charts, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe some people can do it. I certainly don't. I don't see how it works.
Yeah. So do you think that leverage trading will slow down the adoption of the Bitcoin mass adoption, or
Do you think so? I don't know. Maybe short term. I think, once people see the sense of investing, as a solid asset to invest in, that'll go away largely. Once there's enough money in, once the capitalization is at an advanced stage, the ability to manipulate decreases. It's because the market is still relatively small. I mean, it's probably at what's the market cap now of
1 trillion, about 1 trillion.
It's it's eight. I see it's $835 billion for Bitcoin, but it's still small. People think it's big, but it's small. Bitcoin is cheap. It's still cheap.
Yes, exactly.
And maybe some people still think that when to invest in Bitcoin, you need $44,000 to invest in Bitcoin, when all you need is $50. Probably the trading desk that you're buying from is going to have a minimum buy value of $50 or maybe $75 or something like that. But other than that, there's nothing too small that you can put in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's sorry.
Yeah, and you've more and more kind of big entities getting into crypto. Walmart, PayPal. You have all the credit card companies getting in, and there's too much money to be made for crypto to go away. Conceit, but it's too strong of an offering to not succeed. But the one thing I was worried about with Bitcoin when it was in its early days was just the technicalities. Like, was it strong enough to resist hacking and manipulation? And it just turns out that it was strong enough, and it is strong enough. And you can't, it's unstoppable now.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you for today. Well, I will share the link in the description. Thank you, guys. Leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Yeah.